Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Get ready. Wake your psyche up, Mob. Wake up.
Dig your anger up, Mob.
We are on episode 10 of season 3 of Mob Psycho. Last episode, Mob got hit by a car. I don't know how else to put it. He got hit by a car after successfully saving an animal crossing the street with his psychic powers. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to use his psychic powers in time, so he was forced to use his big, strong muscles that he's worked so hard for to save an innocent child playing video games, crossing the street, because of a stupid driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. I don't know. I think that we're going to go down one of two roads. One of them being if Mob has something in him that comes out while he's unconscious. And the other being time skip, perhaps.
I am very nervous and very unsure of what's about to happen, and my stomach is upset. Can we please watch it?
Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We have to see it again?
Yeah, we do. Is it going to go right into intro after it happens? What do you think? Make a bet.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go no then.
Even the touch of the blood moving the flowers slightly.
I won. But at what cost? Oh,
no. Oh.
You know what? I'm sitting here like thinking about how I feel, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
I was going to say
don't you think Mob's ready for this too? I mean, in a way, like narratively, story arc way.
That's
like,
what I mean.
This fear that was talked about from the very beginning, and Ritsu was even saying he was scared of it.
It's just a weird feeling, I guess. I think I was prepared to just be like, I'm not ready because of a hype moment or just like, oh my god, something's happening, but I feel ready. I feel like it's time.
Mob has been breaking down all of those walls that he put up because of the last time that he went unconscious and shit happened. I also gotta say, I'm always scared to yawn when I'm driving. I hate it. I hate having to do anything, like cough, yawn, anything while I'm driving.
What they don't teach you in driver's ed? I'm always on this boat. I'm always saying this. They don't teach you what to do if you have a nosebleed while you're driving. They never. I don't have the answers because they weren't given to me. I'm very nervous, but I'm ready, you know? I feel like I'm about to face the Elite Four.
We're about to see it. Stop. The animals are reacting.
It's just gotten so dark already. The weather's changed.
Why does it sound like footsteps?
It is! It's just like when he was... Oh no. It's the same glass that Mob saved.
Stop! He's still holding the bouquet. He grabbed it.
Is he going to Tsubomi?
Oh my god.
Teru? Oh no.
Does Teru not realize that he's unconscious?
I think he knows something's up.
Well, yeah.
He's one of the only people to face it, you know? He knows exactly what it is.
Oh.
He's upgraded from tie to scarf.
I really hope that Teru can get close to Mob's level, surpass it, anything. Oh!
It's Teru, he's not giving up. This animation.
Oh, look at the red lines!
This music's great. Come on, Teru.
I just did that with my hand at the same time as him. The bouquet. Yeah.
I don't
Then
know,
he might
man.
want to kill you!
He protected them.
They're his feelings. They're the embodiment of his feelings.
Holy shit! Who's next? Ritsu?
Reagan, Ritsu.
If they
The
get
Body
hurt,
Improvement Club.
I'm done. I'm leaving the room. He's still going after Teru? Oh no. Holy shit.
Or internal with the light blue lines.
2x4. His hair.
I can't stop this thing either.
Oh.
Oh.
Terry saved everyone. Sakurai's so cool. I don't want him to die too.
Is everyone gonna end up fighting him to try to stop him?
I don't think it's gonna be much of a fight.
The new do and the new look is good on him. I like it.
Tongs. Kept the name.
Where's Ritsu?
Fucking, you know who's gonna be here, right? Is Suzuki gonna be here? It's Suzuki. He's back too.
Do you see who's driving this vehicle? Flying this vehicle?
This is so badass.
He didn't even realize he's a pilot now.
He doesn't need one.
Doesn't need one.
Bitch. God, it's so
Oh.
badass. But this is
really-
so fucking sad.
Is this really the only character we have that we have maybe faith could
Mogami.
actually...
I'm gonna wait just in case. We'll be careful if in case
Okay.
we think it's a preview, but oh my god. I think like this is a lot for me to deal with. The episode was called Rival. I'm scared that next episode's gonna be called Brother. Okay, that was Mob Psycho, Season 3, Episode 10. I think what I said in the opening holds true, that I feel ready for this, and this feels like it should be happening.
Feels like, if you thought about it in a school sense, since we're watching a middle school kid, you know, that you would hope that an end of the year exam would be an accumulation of everything that you've learned that semester. And that's, I feel like I've studied, I feel like Mob has studied, and he can give hopefully his very best effort toward acing this exam. We're, I think, emotionally and mentally like, okay, we're ready to take this test, even if we're scared of it, even if we're nervous by it. And I think, like, there'd be stalling. If we didn't see it now, we'd be stalling, I think. So I feel as ready as I could be.
One way or another, throughout the entire series, we've obviously seen Mob grow significantly as a character, but in a way, his growth was only due to himself, I think. I think, like, the instances and things that he went through, you know, he could have gone through them and not changed positively. I think the importance is that Mob and his mentality was able to turn those experiences into growth in a positive way. And throughout that journey, he has, in one way or another, helped all of these people, whether directly like Teru or indirectly through a Ritsu interaction with somebody or a Reigen interaction with somebody. And to have everybody coming back into the series to try to help.
And it's not stop him. Like, obviously, we get Teru saying, I'm going, like, he says, stop this. But the other language he uses is about, I know you don't want this, and so, like, I'm going to help you. I know you're crying and they're alone. I'm going to reach you. And it's not language that embodies, like, you are this terrifying, horrible thing that I need to stop that's hurting people. It's focused on, you don't want to do this, and I want to help you get out of this by stopping you.
Well, a lot of it's, it's really... I'm trying to understand it, because on one hand, like, they shoved the dark passenger thing back in our face by having Mob be the passenger and having to sit through this and watch it. And he
says he can't stop it.
And I think I'm in such a dilemma right now, because I can't tell if it's a dark passenger or I'm doing a massive disservice by even suggesting that it is. And if it's just him not being able to control his emotions. And I could be talking completely out of my butt here, but I get emotional thinking about it because I have bipolar disorder, and when I'm not myself, I think people who know me, like, can tell, and that's a hard thing to come to terms with. And Mob has always had trouble controlling his emotions, and in a sense, like, it could be, Mob, you need to, like, wake up and get control of this, but that doesn't make Mob weak for not being able to snap out of it now. And him having so many buddies who are willing to be like, to stand up and not say what you're doing is wrong, because that's really easy to say, but to stand up and saying, I know you'd be doing right, and I know this isn't you, that's cool. And if the fucking Body Improvement Club get beat up by Mob, I am walking out of this room. I wouldn't be able to handle it. They're such good buddies.
I feel like it might have been easy for us to go the dark passenger route, but I think this show is so focused on emotions that I think it's also focused on mental health. And I think something you could say is you are your own worst enemy, and we are the people that keep us back.
Yeah.
I hold myself back from the hurdles in front of me, from doing good things, from doing chores. I'm the reason. I'm the person stalling. I'm the person in my head. Like, your psyche is, that's one of the things that, like, really is important to me about this show, of, like, what I relate to or notice is my psyche is a very powerful thing. Like, I can make myself physically ill by thoughts and feelings. And so when I see this show about psychics, obviously it's, like, way more, like, blown up, entertaining, bigger, showier. But it's true that we, as people, can kind of create our own misery and create our own success to some degree. And I think that at this point I'm leaning towards, I don't know how fulfilling it would be to me if Mob is not the person that gets out of this on his own and someone else gets him out of it. I think that at the moment, for me, I would most love to see him have all this stuff that he's learned. And yes, he can use, oh my God, look at all this support I have. Look at all these friends that are fighting for me. And him taking that love, 100% love, 100% support, and using that to be like, I am good. And this, he might have even created this dark passenger, this question mark. He might have even created it out of his fear. What he is the embodiment of his own fear that he has created. Yeah. He has created this monster. In my opinion, at the moment, obviously the story narrative could totally change, but that's how it feels to me, is that he has perceived himself as a monster, that he's almost created a monster.
Yeah, I think you're right with how they might go about it, because Teru did do something here. He let Mob wake up in the same sense that Mob, like, was outlined in season 2 episode 4 with Mogami, and I think that maybe everybody will give a little bit to give him more control. And I think that it's not going to be like other people defeating this, but it's everybody being there and reminding Mob that they're there for him will make it easier for Mob to beat it. I think that what I'm about to do is projecting a bit, but it's no secret if you've watched any of Mob Psycho with us, like it's easily one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and like I get incredibly invested and emotional in this. And early on, I'd say like season 2, a couple episodes in, I started like connecting all this shit like that isn't, I don't think, necessarily there, but hear me out. Like I said earlier, I've never talked about having bipolar disorder on the channel, but when Mob ever had his first interaction with Teru, and he really doesn't want to go unconscious, he really doesn't want to hurt somebody else, and then he does it, and the entire world around him is in crumbles and up in the air, and then he cries as he puts it back together. I think the fear of the monster Mob has made tearing the world around it, I relate to like heightened extreme emotions when I'm at my worst, and how it can completely obliterate and dismantle and destroy relationships and friendships that I have, and that's happened in the past because of it, and it was out of my control, even though that it was my fault, you know? I've sure it's projecting a bit, but it's just a reason that I really connect with this show and this character, and it feels so good to be here. And I can't tell you if I've ever had a better feeling this close to the apparent end of a series. Like, you know, like, I don't know. It's a cool place to be in.
Is that weird to feel? And I can agree with you, and that's why it's okay asking this question. Does it feel weird to feel almost like a good release seeing this happen? Like, this is a horrible, terrifying, horrible thing. I'm going to say horrible 3 times there. Thing that's happening to Mob right now that he is going to be destroyed over.
Yeah.
But I think we can feel a sense of peace knowing that even if the most horrible things happen, no one that he loves is going to blame him for this.
I agree. And so I want to start talking about some stuff that I wrote down. Like about 4 minutes, 20 seconds into the episode, we see Mob, I guess, enter the frame when you're hearing and seeing the reverb. It's the same exact way that Mob entered the Shimazaki fight. When Shimazaki like went above and beyond and only focused on espers within a certain radius, and then Mob's entrance is just his feet, because he entered that, you know, like entered that circle, and his feet are different colors than this, I believe. This is obviously much more sinister, but I love the parallel to it, and I love the vision. Like it's honestly terrifying. Mm-hmm. I don't know, what are you thinking about the visuals of Mob right now?
There were some really cool transitions that happened from, I think they were mainly towards the end, and it was from seeing kind of Mob crying within his subconscious, within his mind, to a transition back to what the face currently looks like. And then it started to turn even more black.
Yeah.
Like, you know? And it was emotional and terrifying. And the more that it gets dark and the more black lines.
Do you feel like it's growing? The darkness?
Well, it got darker once we saw him crying, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like any extreme emotion that he feels, other than extreme desire to break out of this, what he needs is to feel 100%, I want this to end. I want this to end.
Yeah.
And not sadness or anger at himself. He's not going to fix this if he's angry at himself and sad about what he's doing. He needs to channel those. I mean, that isn't this what this is in a way? It's like, I think as you grow up and as you age and as you go through life experiences, you learn what big emotions are. And big emotions are really, really scary, and you need to learn how to channel them because it's energy. And you need to learn how to channel your anger into something positive in your life. Is he so angry right now at himself? Be so angry that you put a stop to it. Yeah. That you put all of that angry energy into fighting whatever this monster is that's going on, this fear right now.
Yeah. I don't, didn't last episode he say he said he wasn't anxious about it? Like, yes, in the lead up?
But there was still a countdown.
Yeah.
Or count up. They're still a count up. And I remember being like, okay, yeah, right, you're not anxious about this meeting with Tsubomi.
Another, like, just drop in the bucket of not a third party, you know, dark passenger, and it just being Mob. He has the flowers in his hand. Like, he has, like, a
Why
intent.
would the dark passenger have the flowers and protect the flowers at all costs? Like,
I'm evil Mob. I'm Bomb, and I have a crush on you harder, Tsubomi. Like,
but like that's why I feel even stronger with thinking that Mob is the one that needs to be the kind of finisher.
Yeah.
The finishing blow needs to be Mob. Even if other people are laying the groundwork for him, you know, they're maybe weakening him but in a way, I think they're saying that they're there for him. They're saying the things that they need to. I don't mean weaken. I just mean, in a way, they're weakening the fear. They're weakening the bad stuff that's happening by bringing in the light.
Yeah.
And Teru is the great first example because Teru's psychic powers are literally light balls and yellow. And it's this very positive energy, this very, like, enveloping energy. And I really wanted to talk about the lines that Teru said.
Teru had some great lines.
He said that he realized that he was average from fighting Mob. He realized he was average because he was relying on his powers, and that Mob taught him that he needed to accept himself without them. He needed to like himself without these powers. And I think a lot of people can relate to that lesson on a non-powers level.
Yeah.
Like, I need to like myself even if I gain a couple pounds. I need to like myself even if I have to wear this uniform to work that I don't look good in, that's unflattering. I need to like myself even though, like, I'm not in the place I want to be right now.
Yeah. One of the terror lines that took it away from me was when we first met, you were crying alone. I'm sure that's the case even now. And, like, again, could be reading into it, but I'm just like, God, Teru is so, like, you're not alone right now. You don't need to be alone. Like, I'm, like, you have... I
How
understand.
lovely is that, like, I want to get in there. Like, he's beating on his chest, like, I don't want to leave you alone in there.
Yeah,
when
he started beating on his chest, I was like, I didn't think Teru was gonna die, but the animation and all the blood and all of his clothes going everywhere, I
was worried.
You know something it's getting serious in Mob Psycho if somebody's naked. Like, you know something's about to go down. But when he started banging on Mob's chest, that hit, man.
And there was a storyboarding thing that I loved here too, that I am so glad we didn't get Mob internally until after this exchange.
I completely agree.
Like, this was the perfect moment from a storyboarding, narrative, visual place to give us Mob crying by himself.
Yeah.
That's what woke him up. The pounding on the chest and Teru's words is what woke Mob up.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I love that snap. Like, that happened, and then that's when we saw it, and it wasn't like that whole time Mob was like, I can't do anything, get me out of here. Then now we can see growth, and we can see this internal, like, everything you've learned emotionally. Look at what these people are doing for you. You are now watching all of it. Yeah. He's watching all of this like a TV screen now, where I was worried that he didn't know. He didn't know people were reaching out to him, but he can see all these people reaching out to him. He's not blind to it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think, isn't that something you can say, that sometimes you do get blind to people reaching out to you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Without a doubt. Or seeing it as something that it isn't, you know?
Are they pitying me?
Yeah.
Do they really mean what they're saying?
Yeah. I can't believe how petty evil Mob is, or whatever this evil version of Mob is petty enough to be like, the last act I'm gonna do before inner Mob can see what I'm doing is make sure Teru's top of head goes back to 0%. And I'm like...
It's payback for the shirt from the Dimple fight.
Dude, like, evil Mob is like, I don't even care if Teru dies. I just want him to experience this humiliation again.
Again, because Teru already spent so much time growing out his hair. He wore that thing that you loved that I hated, the really
Amazing.
tall hair. And I think you're right. Like, this is payback.
Teru won, though. He saved everybody. It
was super impressive. He used the rest of whatever he had to do that.
So who do you think it's gonna be? Would you say that it's Suzuki next because he's the one that we saw, like...
Next after the two that he's fighting right now.
I kind of got the vibe that they were already, like, dealt with by Mob. Like, the cut out of there was, like, my acknowledgement that the fight was already over.
In my opinion, they're gonna be done with pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I can see two people standing by themselves or together at the end, before the park, in front of Tsubomi, however close Mob gets before they get there. And that is Reagan and Ritsu.
I was about to be like, there's more than 2 members in the Body Improvement Club.
I'm the final boss. The final bosses, possibly together, maybe separate. I could see both of them equally being the final boss.
I could see Ritsu coming either, hear me out, next, because of the original episode layout of season 1. And him being the next issue after Teru. Or I could see Reagan being last and Ritsu being second to last. I kind of
Well, we know that Ritsu's probably on his way because he's the one character other than Tsubomi that wasn't in the evacuation gymnasium.
Don't get me wrong. I would die if it happened, but I could see Reagan dying at the end of the series and Mob killing him. Or that's the thing that...
But then Mob would never heal from that. Is that, like... There'd be no room for a positive ending in Mob's story if that happened.
I mean,
like, authors can choose to
I don't
have
think
a
it's gonna happen.
non-happy ending, but that's up to them.
I don't actually think that's gonna happen. I'm just, like, it's just a route that it could go, and then
route.
like
it is a path that could happen.
Like Mob maybe tries to hurt himself, and then instead Reagan's like, nah, you know.
Is this like a video game where it's like the game over screen, and then you'd have to reload from your last save file?
Maybe. There was a couple of cool transitions though this episode. There was one where they do this trick that's so simple every time. They did it first in the Shimazaki fight where they just keep the foreground and then change the background of it, right? And they'll do it so much, but in different ways. Like they did it with Teru's head and his hair and like chopped the frame in half, and as it switched over, it just switched into a different backdrop. And I'm like, it's so fucking cool. I'm so excited that I kind of think Suzuki might get rolled, but I'm excited for him to be back too.
I mean, he spent so long building up power and not fighting himself.
Yeah.
Mob fought like the ultimate Suzuki, you know? He fought the one that had been saving power and energy for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And stockpiled. The stockpile Suzuki is who he fought before. And this is just, hey, I've been in jail for a little while, Suzuki, you know?
Maybe
like
the negative emotions are, I don't know, more potent there. Who
maybe
knows?
like another plane is over top of this one and Sho has a parachute and jumps out. It's like, hi, Dad! And they like go down together.
That'd be cool.
Mom just dropped me off. Like,
I love the stupidness of how like intentionally dumb Mob Psycho can get sometimes.
Are you talking about this with the Hattori?
Like Hattori
so
being
cute.
the pilot
And
is the
being, like,
funniest thing in the world. Like
and
I
then,
love the
this cute
humor.
little face that he makes, like, Hattori?
Yeah. Like in other animes or shows, it would actually seriously happen and try to be like a serious moment, but they play up the absurdity of it.
They couldn't do that in like an actual serious action situation that was not like a Mob Psycho episode.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have gone, this friend of yours is now this pilot flying you, a prisoner, and dropping you out of the sky. Like, that's too good. It's too priceless.
God, I love him. His character design's pretty great too.
Oh, Hattori's?
No, Suzuki.
Oh, yeah. The eyebrows.
It was kind of like oh, okay at first, but like seeing it again too,
It's
like
growing on you.
I love it.
It's growing on you just like those eyebrows.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like this episode. Again, it's no secret. I love Teru too. Like I think I'm really happy that he got a chance to have his moment. You know? Like it was really nice for him. For Teru Stan, it was nice. I think he actually did something
He's his
too.
rival.
Yeah.
That was the name of this episode. Wow, we have to wait until next Wednesday. Each episode is going to be a different person's attempt at reaching Mob.
At least one person's attempt.
Yeah. We're going to have some team battles.
What do you think would happen if Mob showed up to Tsubomi right now with the flowers?
That's why I mean, like, I said that I thought Ritsu and Reagan might be right in front of Tsubomi, like the last people standing in this attempt. But if this fear, this unconscious, if this body of Mob's is still walking toward this goal with the flowers, then I don't think she's any form in harm's way. And I think that maybe everyone stopping him is truly just getting in the way of him getting out of this. That could be a way it goes, that like he just needs to get there and he needs to say what he needs to say, give her the flowers. He can't really talk right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like deflate like a balloon, something like that. It could be Tsubomi. Like maybe Tsubomi is the person that is it's what Mob's been waiting for, is confessing. Like maybe Tsubomi is the person that will truly, like, Mob, why are you like this? Mob, you're strong. Break out of this. This isn't you. Like something like that.
Did Mob tell Reagan that he was meeting Tsubomi at the park? Because I'm trying to think, like, technically Ritsu would be able to find out, because Mob's mom was in the room when they were on the phone. And
I mean, Ritsu was listening to most of the conversation, too. I think Ritsu... That's why I thought that Reagan and Ritsu would probably be at the entrance of the park.
Yeah.
Is because I believe...
I think they'd have separate moments, though.
Ritsu knows his brother well enough to know that no matter what, Mob was not going to miss this.
Yeah.
Even if he was unconscious.
Or there was an earthquake.
Yeah. I think Ritsu probably knew as soon as Teru knew.
All right. That's all I have.
I mean, Ritsu's the one person we have that has seen this. Teru saw it, but before the show, what has happened in the show.
Yeah.
It was Ritsu, so...
All right.
Okay.
You good? Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.